Hi everyone, good morning. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, Vinod.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
At the introduction, today I'm going to this is a complete data engineering package about the Snowflake and some of the other third-party that can be integrated. I'd like to know what is the responsibility of data engineer? And the daily activity of data engineer. First of all, let us see. Let's go to LinkedIn and check what kind of skill set is required for a data engineer. I have opened one. There are a lot of fun data engineering.
Vinod, I think your voice is really low, like we can't barely hear you.
How about others, guys? Same.
Yes, same issue.
Same issue, sir.
Change my mic. Am I audible now, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, yes,
It is clear, right? Or same?
it is correct.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I was saying is, let us go through a job description of a data engineer. Okay. So I opened LinkedIn and searched for data engineering resume. Okay, data engineering job description. So if you see here, what they are expecting, if I outline here, so extensive hands-on experience with cloud data solutions. Okay. So you should be able to know about one of the any cloud data warehouse. Okay, so there are too many tools or too many data warehouses in the market. So the first thing that you need to know about is any cloud data warehouse. Okay, cloud data warehouse. Okay, so Snowflake is the preferred one. Okay, it is leading in the market, but you also have different other data warehouses like Redshift from Amazon, BigQuery from Google, Synapse. Okay, and there are some old data warehouses like Teradata, SAP HANA. So there are a lot of things are in the market. Okay, for data warehouse, but the mostly used one is Snowflake here. Okay, so we'll see why Snowflake is popular when compared to other data warehouses. Okay, and if you go to the job description again, they're asking something like experience with cloud-based data solution architectures, data engineering, ETL tools or platforms here. Okay, so what are the ETL tools? Okay, there is another set that you need to learn, another technology, generally ETL tools. Okay, so there are multiple tools in the market like Informatica IICS, Matillion, Azure Data Factory. So the list goes on. There is a big list of that ETL tools here. Okay, and if you see the job description again, they are going to ask something like proficiency in working with cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or GCP. Okay, so you may need to know as a data engineer something like a cloud, any of the cloud here. Okay, so the three major clouds in the market are like AWS, Azure, or GCP here. Okay, let us go back again. What they're asking here. If you see any proficiency in any programming languages like Python, okay, Python and SQL, okay, so Python. So most of the people are using Python now. So Python is also one of the required skill for a data engineer here. So before all these, the main prerequisite that I forgot to mention here is SQL, guys. Okay. So anyone who want to enter into this data jobs, okay, that they should know about SQL. Okay, they should know how to write the queries. Okay, so you should have very good understanding on the SQL. You should be able to write all the scenario based queries. You should be able to implement the business requirements through the SQL queries. Okay, this is one of the main thing that you need to know as a first step to enter into the data engineering area. Okay, so apart from this, there are something like scheduling tools, like Airflow, AutoSys, etc. Okay, so the list goes on. The stack, if you consider, depending on the business use case or depending on the project requirement, there is a big list. There is a huge list of data engineering technologies in the market. Okay, but you don't need to learn everything before going into the job. Okay, some tools that you can learn on the job itself. Okay, you don't need to learn everything and start your career here. Okay, so what you can do is, first of all, you need to learn about the cloud data warehouse like Snowflake. This is mandatory part. The other mandatory part is you need to know the basics about your cloud. Okay, this should be coming in the next area. Okay, cloud. Okay, and little bit of Python programming, right? So if you know this, right, you can start your journey as a data engineer, and all the other tools you can learn it on the job itself. Okay, you can learn it on the job itself. So you can experiment because these are the tools. It doesn't take much time to learn about these kind of tools. Okay, so generally these are the skill sets that you need to know before entering into the data engineering area. Okay, if someone tell like learn Snowflake and enter into the job, it's, I mean, now the opportunities are very less. Okay, if you only learn Snowflake and go into the market, you should learn some of the third-party tools like this Informatica or Airflow and everything with Snowflake. So the combination, if you have the combination, the probability of getting the calls are more here. Okay. And similar way, I have designed my course, guys. So it's not only about the Snowflake, it's about multiple things that I have discussed now. So let me show you here. So SQL basics and the data warehousing basics, I have some pre-recorded sessions. So anyone, if you are not familiar with SQL, I can share those pre-recorded sessions. You can go through them, and a lot of resources are also available in the internet for SQL here. Okay, so our main focus is on Snowflake, guys. Okay, first we are going to discuss different techniques of Snowflake for data ingestion, how to build data pipelines, and what are the Snowflake key features that are differentiating Snowflake from other data warehouses. Okay, so our main focus is on the Snowflake. Okay, and in the three clouds like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google, I'm going to choose AWS here. So AWS also has good amount of market. Initially, it was leading in the cloud area. So I'm going to tell you about AWS services which are required for a data engineer. Okay. And in the ETL tool part, I'm going to teach you like around 4 to 5 hours of sessions on the Matillion part. So how we can integrate Matillion with Snowflake and build some data pipelines. Okay. And also we are going to see a new, I mean, I can say it's like new compared to other ETL tools called DBT. Okay. Data build tool. So this is becoming really popular now. Okay. So how this particular tool can be integrated with Snowflake and how we can do the transformations with Snowflake. Okay, that we are going to discuss. And 1 or 2 hours of sessions on Airflow, how we can schedule the jobs using Airflow inside Snowflake and DBT. Okay, so this is what entire course content, guys. So I'm trying to touch multiple tools here. So not only Snowflake, so that you will know like what is what. If someone asks you in the interview, like, do you know about DBT? So you should be able to tell, okay, DBT is a transformation tool and it has these parts and these parts like that. Okay, so this is what my course plan is. Okay, so any questions here, guys?
No.
Okay, okay, yeah. Now, let's just go back to the basics. So why we need all these tools? Like why we need to learn all these tools? What kind of problems we are going to solve with this particular tool as a data engineer, right? So let me give one simple example. When you go to Amazon, like e-commerce, any e-commerce website, and you buy some product, right? So whenever you buy that product, you are going to get some recommendation saying, okay, you buy this product and this product together, you'll be getting this much discount. Okay, so how that particular recommendation is coming up? Okay, so inside Amazon is doing a lot of things in the background. So there are a lot of people like data engineers and data scientists working together to improve their business. Okay, so let's take now that how they are doing in the background. Okay, so I will give you with a diagram here. So you might have already known if you are already working in the data engineering area, but just I wanted to refresh this. Looks like it is too slow today. Close the tabs. Yeah. Okay, so now what as a data engineer we are going to do in the background for Amazon, right? So what you do is generally, see, we are buying some products from Amazon, right? So all that information will be available in different databases. Okay, call these databases as OLTP database, OLTP. So does anyone know what is an OLTP database is or OLTP system is? Anyone know the abbreviation for what is OLTP? Okay, no problem. So OLTP means online transaction processing database. Okay, so these database generally designed for small volumes of data, but the response is really faster. Okay, so for example, you are withdrawing the money from ATM machine, so you should get the response in within seconds, right? So such kind of systems, like such kind of use cases will be implemented using these OLTP systems. Okay, so you will be having different databases. For example, Oracle is one of the OLTP system database, or Postgres is another OLTP system. So MySQL is another OLTP database. So you will be having some OLTP databases here, which can handle small volumes of data, but really faster. So when you order some product from Amazon, your current orders or your current product details or current inventory information. So all those things can be stored in a OLTP system. Okay. Now the data will be getting older and older. So I have been using Amazon from last 10 years. Okay. So I don't keep all those old data here in the OLTP systems. Okay, so I am going to delete maybe less. I will keep last 2 years data here, and remaining 8 years data I will be moving to another system. Okay, this is also a database system, but this is a really big database system, and these systems are called OLAP systems, online analytical processing systems. Okay, or we can also call them as data warehouses. Data warehouses. So this is where your Snowflake or Redshift or BigQuery comes into picture. Snowflake or Redshift or BigQuery, any data warehouse here. So what is the property of these databases? So I have intentionally drawn this bigger than OLTP database because this can hold huge volumes of data, and reading from these huge volumes is really faster because they apply parallel processing techniques here. Okay, so all the historical data that is getting older will be moved from here to here. From here, OLTP to a OLAP system here. Okay, so now Amazon, the recent data will be available in your OLAP system, sorry, OLTP system. All your historical data will be available in OLAP system here. Okay, now in this process, we are going to do this process, getting the data from here to here and doing some curation is called ETL or ELT. Okay, ELT, I will write ELT. So does anyone know what is the full form of ETL or ELT?
Extract
Load
info.
transfer.
Right, it's extract, load, transform. So what does stands for here is extraction. So extract the data from your source system into your target data warehouses. So this part is extract. Okay, so now load. So load it into your data warehouse. Get the data from here and load it into your data warehouse. Okay, so whatever data you are getting from your source system, we call it as raw data. Okay, we call this as raw data. Now, after getting the data from source system, we are going to perform some transformation, some modification on this data. Okay, so that modification is called transformation here. Okay, so this is, now we are going to do a transformation here. Transformation. Extract the data, load it here, and do the transformation. And after transforming your data, the data is called curated data. For example, let's say I am getting my first name and last name of the customer. Okay, so but I don't want two columns. I want to merge both and write it as a full name here. So that is the transformation. Okay, for example, I'm getting the sales data day wise, but I want to get it for month wise, quarter wise, year wise, right? So that is a curation of the data. So in between, you are going to bring the data, doing the transformation and write it into curated layer of the data. Okay. So this is called raw data. This is called curated data. Okay. It is similar to the real life example. So you get the water from rain, so which is in raw format in the lakes, and you curate it and use it for drinking purpose. You curate it and use it for agriculture purpose, right? So similar way, the data is used for multiple purpose. The curated data is used for multiple purpose here. Okay, so now these curated data will be consumed by multiple people here. Okay, so one guy that's going to consume the curated data is the visualization engineers or data analysts. Visualization engineers. So what they do, they use some tools like some reporting tools like Power BI or Tableau, and they are going to represent your data in the pictorial format. Okay, so they are going to use some reports here. So they are going to show your data in the reports format here. Okay, so that your high level management will know, like, okay, these are my product sales in this particular region. Okay, so they represent with very good pictorial representation here. Okay, so the other guy who is going to use this particular curated data is your data scientist. So the data scientist is the one who is going to apply algorithms on your curated data and come up with the recommendation, like in Amazon case. So they will analyze lot of historical data, customer buying patterns, and they are going to apply their own techniques, and they'll say, okay, you tie this product and this product together, offer some discount. So they will come up with that decision here. So for that, they need lot of historical data, so much of historical data to work on. So all your data science algorithms rely on lot of historical data. So even your chat GPT nowadays, so it uses lot of data here. Okay, how it is getting the data from different sources, like from internet and all, right? So this is how that this data is used. This is consumed by multiple people here in the downstream applications. Okay, so now where the data engineer sits is this part, this entire part, this building. This is called data pipeline. So this building data pipeline and curating the data as per the needs, right? Establishing the connection with sources, right? So everything is done by your data engineer here. Okay, so this part is owned by the data engineer. This part is owned by data engineer here. Okay, now we discussed in the starting of the session different tools, right? Where do they fit? Okay, so your Snowflake fit here. This is Snowflake, your data warehouse, and your ETL tools like Informatica or Matillion will be used here. Say Informatica or let's take Matillion. Matillion is used for extraction, loading, and then transformation. Here also we can use Matillion. Okay, in the transformation area. Okay, and you can also use DBT only for transformation. So DBT is the tool only used in the area of transformation. So DBT can be used here for transformation. Okay, so here we can use DBT, and here we can use Matillion. Okay, and scheduling all the jobs we may use Airflow. Airflow can be used for scheduling all the jobs. Right? Scheduling your extraction job, your transformation job, everything. Okay, so this is how we are going to we are going to build it. Okay, now as at the end of this course, I'm going to show you three pipelines, guys. Okay, so one is the data pipelines that we are going to build is one we are going to build with Matillion plus Snowflake. Second pipeline that we are going to use is DBT, Airflow plus Snowflake. So everywhere Snowflake is common. The third pipeline we are going to build is using Python and Snowflake. So these are the three different pipelines that we are going to build. I'm going to get some sample data, some CSV files for you, and we are going to build these three pipelines as part of this course. Okay. Clear, guys? Are any questions here? You can ask any basic question, don't hesitate.
Vinod, can you repeat this flow again, please?
Okay, so see, you have your source systems like OLTP system databases. Okay, so in case of Amazon, what these do, these are going to store your current data. So the current orders, the current customers, the current product inventory, right? So all the information you can store it here. Okay, so your source cannot be only a database. Your source can be anything like a sensor data. Okay, it can be a sensor data also. You need to perform some analytics on sensor data, or it can be a social networking data, like you want to get the data from Instagram or something like this. Okay, so your sources can be multiple things. So what we are going to do is, as a data engineer, we are going to extract the data from here and move the data into a big database called data warehouse. Okay, so all the data that is getting older, the historical data, will be moved from these source systems to your data warehouse. So why I am moving this data to here? Because I want to use this data for multiple purposes. One is for visualization, so to make some reports, to understand my business, how my sales are happening on a particular region, on the particular product. So I want to understand that, right? And also I want to improve my business. I want to predict something. So how my sales will be in the next year, or I want to know like how I want to sell this product and this product together so that I can offer some discount. So my sales will be increased, right? So all these use cases need data, all the data, all the historical data. So that data will be coming from here to here. Okay. So initially the data, the copy of the source data is called raw data. So it's like your water, raw water. Now you are curating this water, you're refining this data. Okay. You're purifying this data and making it as curated data so that it can be consumed by these two people. Okay. So now in this flow, we are going to use different tools and technologies. So for a data warehouse, you can use Snowflake. For using this extract and transformation, you can use Matillion, and only for transformation, you can use DBT. And to schedule the jobs, you can use Airflow. So why are you learning all these tools? Only to build this pipeline so that you can serve this data to the downstream people here. So when I say downstream, the visualization engineers, data scientists and all. You got it?
Yes.
Okay.
So the Snowflake and DBT, this Matillion is this comes under OLAP, right?
See,
At the time of
OLAP is only Snowflake. Okay. It's a data warehouse. Okay. Matillion comes under ETL tool. So when I have written now in the initial thing, right? So Matillion comes under ETL tools. Okay. Your Snowflake comes under data warehouse and your cloud is AWS.
right. Okay.
So all these tools and technologies combined together, we are going to build a this is called data pipeline. So as a data engineer, we are going to build all these data pipelines by making use of these particular tools here.
Yes, understood, Vinod.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? You can ask any basic question. Don't hesitate. I want to make this session interactive, so.
As
Okay.
of now, it is good.
Yeah, please go ahead.
As of now, it is good.
Okay, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Hi, Vinod.
Yeah, hi.
Where does Python come in picture? Like for the
Oh.
scheduling or transformation, where does
Okay.
it come?
Yeah, Python comes in multiple places. So you can use in extraction, you can use in transformation, you can use in scheduling. So Python is everywhere, I can say. Okay. So without using any third-party tool, I can replace Matillion, I can replace DBT, I can replace Airflow with Python. So Python has everything in it. But the only thing is, it takes some time because it's a coding language. So to implement a project, it takes some time because we have already available solutions in the market. Okay, so we are using Matillion for extraction and loading, but you can also use Python. Okay, okay, I will give you one more example. So we have different sources here. Okay, so like sensor systems or Instagram and all. So you are using Matillion for connecting. In some cases, there is a new system has come. For example, a SharePoint. Okay, I want to get the SharePoint data. For example, Matillion is not having SharePoint connector. So Python is also Python already having SharePoint connector. So I can use Python and get the data from a different source here for extraction. Okay, and also I can use lot of automations using Python. For example, I'm getting the data from here to here. I wanted to validate this data, like whether I'm getting all the data from here to here, I am losing some data in the extraction process. So I want to validate it. So in that case, what do? You go to your source system and get the number of rows from the table. You go to your target system, get the number of rows from table, and you compare the data. So, right? So the data validation also can be automated with Python. Okay, so for data quality checks and all, you can use Python. For extraction, you can use Python. For transformation, you can use Python. And for scheduling also, you can use Python. So Python is everywhere.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Okay.
We know about Python, so we need a Java background, right, for Python code.
No. See, Java background is not required. So you need to know very basics about Python, how to write some functions in Python, how to write somewhere, I mean, loops, if conditions, which is basic for any programming language. Okay, so you don't need to be having some Java has like lot of oops concepts. Even Python has it, but as a data engineer, you don't need to write a lot of oops related classes and all. Just basic function writing, if you know, that is enough for you. How
Okay.
to write it
Without
basic.
knowing Python, we are not able to use the Snowflake.
No. So you can use Snowflake. Snowflake only uses SQL.
If
Okay.
we have a SQL background, then again, if we need this Python,
Yeah, Python is becoming mandatory for a data engineer now for different purposes. Okay, but Snowflake, if you have SQL, you can learn Snowflake. But why I'm telling Python is to improve your calls from the companies. Okay, so because Python combined with Snowflake has lot of applications.
okay.
Okay, but you can learn Snowflake without Python also. So I don't touch Python until I complete all these things. Okay, at the end I'll touch it. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, guys, let me quickly show how you can spin up a Snowflake account. Okay. So now let us focus on only Snowflake first. Okay, because our main focus is on Snowflake. Our 80% of sessions is on Snowflake. Now let us try to understand how to spin up a Snowflake account here. Okay. So Snowflake is a data warehouse, you know already now. So data warehouse is a place where you can put all your historical data. Okay, it's kind of a regular warehouse. Okay, so where you put all your things, right? A warehouse is big room where you put all your things, right? Similar way data warehouse. But this Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Okay, so you cannot install Snowflake on your computer. Okay, so like let's take Oracle. You can install Oracle on your computer. Okay, but Snowflake cannot be installed directly on your computer. Snowflake is a cloud data warehouse. Okay, so when I say cloud data warehouse, the Snowflake software runs on any of the three major clouds, that is AWS, Azure, or BigQuery. Okay, any of these three major clouds, the Snowflake runs here. Okay, so while creating the Snowflake account, you need to choose on which cloud you want it to run. Okay, so which cloud you are comfortable, you can use that particular cloud here. Okay, so now let us see how to create a Snowflake trial account. Okay, so all the tools, guys, I am telling Matillion, DBT, Airflow, everything we have trial in cloud. You don't need to install any software in your machine. Okay, everything you can spin up in the cloud now. Okay, so first of all, let's see how to spin up the Snowflake cloud. Okay, Snowflake in the cloud. So just go to Google, type Snowflake trial. So it's a 30-day free trial account, guys. Okay, so you can use it for 30 days. Once it is expired, again you can create a new one. Right, so just you need to fill your details here. Just fill your details. They'll ask for company. You can give any name. This is for their sales actually. Okay, so now see here, Snowflake has three different editions here. Okay, enterprise, standard, and business critical. Okay, so depending on the edition you choose, the features will vary. Okay, so it's similar like you are buying a car and you have different variants in the car, right? So the higher variant will have more options. So similar way, business critical is the highest variant of Snowflake, which has a lot of security features. Okay, so for us to learn, enterprise is enough. Okay, so I'm choosing enterprise here. Now choose your cloud provider, on which cloud you want to run this. Okay, you want to run it on Microsoft Azure or Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud. Anyone you can choose it. So I choose AWS here. Okay, and automatically it chooses the region Asia Pacific Singapore. So my Snowflake software will be running on the AWS Center Singapore. Okay, now just click on this checkbox and get started. So they are going to ask some survey questions. If you want to answer, you can. Otherwise, you can skip it. So now I am going to receive an email to my mailbox now. Okay. Saying to activate my Snowflake account. Okay, so now you got this here, guys. Okay, Snowflake computing, activate your Snowflake account here. Okay, so just click on this. Click to activate. Okay, so the initial username and password you need to set up here. Okay, now I think password, they have some policy here. Just click on get started. Okay. So this is the Snowflake user interface, guys. This is called Snow Site. Okay. So in the web browser only, we are going to open this particular Snowflake user interface. Okay. So see here how simple it is to use Snowflake. Within 2 minutes, I am able to spin up my Snowflake account. So I don't need to install my software and wait for hours and hours to set it up. Okay. So automatically my Snowflake account is set up now. Okay. So now if I want to run some queries on my Snowflake, right? So I am going to go to this projects here. Okay. And you have worksheets here. Okay. So you can open any of the SQL worksheet, click on this plus symbol. There are some sample worksheets already, but if you click on the plus symbol, it will open a worksheet for you. Okay, so now they are giving, okay, if you want to query, select star from table where ID equal to some filter, something like this. So they are going to give some tips if you are really new to Snowflake. Okay, so in the left hand side, you are going to see the databases where the data is stored. And here you are going to run a query here. Okay, so now for example, I want to run a query and I have some sample data already there in the Snowflake. So I'm going to write a query here. Simply, I want to get the data from the call center table. Okay, the data is already existing as a sample data. You can say select star from this table. And you click on this play symbol, automatically the query will be executed and the results are shown here. Okay, so this is the result of your table data. Okay, the table has these many columns, and right hand side you are going to see how much time that query has executed, how many rows are written by the query, what is the query ID, and some of the statistics of the query. Okay, so in the right hand side you are going to see this. Okay, so this is how your Snowflake user interface looks like, guys. This is called Snow Site here. Okay, so till here it is clear, or you have any questions?
Can you please repeat this again?
Which one?
From database. From database.
The account
From
creation or
Snowflake. Not account creation. After that.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
open the sample
So
program.
yeah, if you want to open a new worksheet, right? So this is your landing page. Okay. So if you want to open a new SQL worksheet, you will go to projects here in the worksheet, click on this plus symbol. Okay. So it will create a worksheet for you. Worksheet is a session where you can run your queries here. Okay. Now, right? The data is organized in the form of tables in Snowflake or any database generally, right? Tables will have your rows and columns. Now, Snowflake already provide you some sample data. This data is already there with your free account. Okay. Just I wanted to show you how I can see this data. Okay. So this is called database, and this is called schema, and inside schema you'll have tables. Okay, so this is the object hierarchy. So we are going to see what is a database, what is a schema and all, but just to show you. So I want to query the data from a call center table. Okay, so what I can do is simply I can click on these three dots and click on this place name in editor. So automatically it will display the table here. Okay, so this is the database, this is a schema, this is the table name here. Okay, so you can write select are from this table, and if I want to execute this query, what I need to do, just click on this play button. You'll get the results here. Okay, and this right hand side you are going to see the statistics. Okay, so now what is happening when I run this particular query, okay, in the background. Okay, so for that you need to understand the Snowflake architecture. Okay, so what is Snowflake architecture here? Okay, so Snowflake architecture has three layers, guys. Okay, so the first layer that you are going to see is called cloud services layer. So this layer is called cloud services layer. The first layer is called cloud services layer. What this layer will do? So as soon as I submit my select query like this, first of all, this query will be going to the cloud services layer. Okay, so there it is going to check for the syntax of the query. For example, I forgot to give the from clause here. Just select star table name. So if I run this query, what will happen? It is going to throw an error saying, okay, here there is some problem, you're missing something. So you're not following the syntax or grammar of that particular query. First you need to have select, then star, then from, then table name, right? So cloud services layer is going to check the syntax of the query. First of all, it will check the syntax, right? And the second thing, okay, you're good, your syntax is good, but instead of call center, I gave call center one. This query is syntactically correct. I have select, I have star, I have from, I have table name. But this table is not existing in your database. Call center one is not there here. Only you have call center table. Okay, call center one is not there. So whether this particular object is existing in your database or not. So that is also checked by your cloud services layer. So it is saying, okay, this table does not exist here. Okay, so this is called resolving the objects. Okay, so resolving objects and checking permissions, whether you have access to the table or not. Okay, everything will be done by your cloud services layer. Now, the third part that Snowflake cloud services layer is going to do after this is optimizer plan generation. So does anyone know what is an optimizer in database? Anyone have any idea what is an optimizer? Okay, so optimizer will try to find the path to get the data really faster, the fastest way possible. Okay, so for example, you are reading a book, okay, and you are in chapter 9, and after some time you stopped reading book and you wanted to resume it. So you want to go to chapter 10, right? So if you want to go to chapter 10, there are two ways to get there. So one is like you flip the page, page by page, page by page, and go to chapter 10, or you see the index of the book and see chapter 10 is in page number 100 and try to jump there. So sometimes using the index is faster, sometimes going page by page is faster, right? So similar way, for a Snowflake table, there are multiple ways to access your data. Okay, so optimizer will generate that particular plan. Okay, so how to access the data really quicker, that path will be generated by your optimizer here. So once the optimizer plan is generated, now your query is going to enter into the second layer here. Okay, so what is this layer? This layer is called compute layer. Okay, so second layer is called compute layer. What will happen in this compute? So compute layer is responsible for doing the computations. For example, I want to join two tables, or I want to aggregate the data of one table, like I want to do sum of salary from employee table, right? So those computations are performed by your compute layer here. Okay, so compute layer will have some servers, okay, some machines, and these servers are called virtual warehouses. Okay, we call it as virtual warehouses. Okay, so if you want to run any query, you need to have some server, okay, to compute, to do the compute. Okay, similar way your computer laptop is having a processor, right? So you need to have this compute virtual warehouse here. Okay, so if I'm running this query, if you see on the right hand side, so this is my compute virtual warehouse, guys. Okay, compute underscore WH. So as soon as you create your Snowflake account, this virtual warehouse is created automatically. Okay, now if you see, it is showing something called extra small here. Okay, so your virtual warehouse will come with your sizes. Okay, t-shirt sizes, extra small, small, medium, large, like that. Okay, extra small, small, medium, large, and all. Okay, so if you increase the size of the warehouse, you'll get more power to execute your query, more RAM, more memory, right? So if you increase the size, you'll get your query might execute really faster. Okay, but your cost also will increase. Okay, if you use a bigger virtual warehouse, you are going to pay more money to Snowflake. Okay, so that is how your compute layer works. Okay, so compute layer is all about your virtual warehouse. Okay, so we are going to have a special session on virtual warehouse, like 2 hour session on the virtual warehouse, which is really important. Okay, but for now, just a virtual warehouse, you can think it as a server. To execute a query, you should definitely have a virtual warehouse. For example, if I'm opening a new worksheet here by clicking on the plus symbol, there is no warehouse selected, but I want to run a query here. Okay, for example, I'm trying to run a query, catalog page, select star from catalog page. Okay, so first of all, it will check the syntax, everything in the cloud services layer, and okay, it might be in the case, automatically it has chosen virtual warehouse. Okay, generally by default it is choosing the virtual warehouse, but if default is not set, what it will say is, it is going to say, okay, you don't have a virtual warehouse to run this query. Okay, you don't have a virtual warehouse to run this query. So to run this particular query, definitely you should have a virtual warehouse, that is your compute server. Okay, so this is your second layer, guys. It is all about your virtual warehouse. So it will be used for your query running, data loading, everything here. And the third layer is storage layer. This is where actual data resides. Okay, when you're creating tables and you're storing the data. So this is where your actual data resides, in the storage layer. So you can think this as a hard disk of your computer. So where exactly your data is getting stored. Okay, so all your table data is stored here, and it is retrieved through compute layer, and it is going to perform all the computations, and it is going to return back the results here. Okay, and the storage layer, if you want to know more about the storage layer, so the data is organized in the form of partitions. Okay, for example, if you see here in the storage layer, this table is having 24 rows. This particular 24 rows are chunked into 4 micro partitions. These are the first 6 rows, these are the second set of 6 rows, these are the third set, this is the fourth set. So does anyone know what is the benefit of chunking this data, or what is the benefit of partitioning? What is the benefit of partitioning? Anyone have any idea?
Maybe for failover.
No, so it's going to see 24 rows are distributed. The first 6 rows are here, second 6 rows are here, third 6 rows, and fourth. There is no backup of your data.
Storage.
Sorry.
To reduce the storage capacity.
For quick retrieve the data.
Right. To quickly retrieve the data.
Because of the
Okay.
compressed data, we can see the less data, right? Imagine the
Yeah,
micro
compression is one thing, but before compression, there is another advantage. I mean, there is another advantage called you can your search time is reduced because of this partitioning. For example, let's say you are in a school and there are 10 classes, classrooms, class 1 to class 10. Okay. Now I asked you to find out a student XYZ in class number 10. So what you do generally, you directly jump to class number 10 and search for that student. What if all the students are sitting in an auditorium? All class 1 to class 10, everything is combined. So you need to go through each and every student and ask, are you from class 10 and XYZ? Are you XYZ, right? So that is where it takes time. Similar way, when you partition your data, so you have some metadata. So now when I'm searching for date equal to 11 by 5, so I will have some metadata here saying, okay, 11 by 5 is there in my micropartition 4 only. Micropartition 3, 2, 1 does not have 11 by 5 data. I know this by my metadata, okay, which is stored in your cloud services layer, okay. Now I will directly jump to class 10, that is my micropartition 4, and get the 11 by 5 data. So that is how your search time will be reduced. You don't need to search all the other 3 partitions, only the 4th partition you're going to search. Okay, so the data is stored in the form of micro partitions. Okay, so, and it has, I mean, partitioning is there in other databases like Postgres, Oracle. Every database has this, but Snowflake has special technique called micro partition. Why they are called micro partition? What is the advantage of it? So we are going to have a special session for that. So for each special feature, like virtual warehouse, for micro partition, for data sharing, data cloning, there are multiple features of Snowflake. We are going to discuss each feature as a separate session. Okay. So any questions, guys, on this particular architecture, on this particular 3 layers of Snowflake? Okay. Yeah, I will stop it here today. I don't want to overload here. Okay. So I'm going to share this recording and this demo presentation. Also, I'm going to share the course content that I'm going to teach as part of this course, guys.
So we know
Yeah.
about this centered storage. So again, we need a SQL installation on that particular missions, or Snowflake will handle everything.
See, Snowflake will handle everything. You don't need to install anything. So now, see, simply just I am running the select query. Did I install anything? Just I spinned up my Snowflake instance. That's it.
Okay. So in the organization also, in this with this GUI tool, we can create the databases and create the tables and data.
Everything you can do from here only.
Okay.
You don't need any separate third-party tool. Like I think I got your question. Maybe any third-party tool like dbeaver or something like that to connect to Snowflake, right? So yeah, you can connect with that tools, but you don't need it. You already have this web-based interface.
Okay.
In this entire course, are we experiencing any real project?
Yeah, that's what I told you, right? We are going to build some 3 data pipelines with some sample data. So I can download it from Kaggle or any of the website where we have some sales data or something. So from there, we are going to build these 3 pipelines. So some product sales data we will get from Kaggle. So you can actually, we can get the real data from some of the websites like Kaggle and all. So from there, exactly, we are going to use the data.
Hi, Vinod. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Actually, I have joined later, just 10, 15 minutes back. So actually, I'm looking for Snowflake database admin course actually. So it will cover in this course or what is?
Yeah. So yeah, admin part is covered like around 20% as part of this course. So if you see here, the first 2 modules related to administration only. Okay. Maybe first 3 to 4 sessions will be on the Snowflake administration. And again, the administration part comes here where we do about micro partitions and clustering, materialized views, right? Resource monitors, data masking. So all these things comes under again administration. Okay, but it's not like exclusive administration thing. It's like combination of development and administration.
Okay, can we get it purely only database administrator course here?
For now, yeah. For now, like I'm focusing on the day. Most of the people are aiming for the development, data engineering course.
Okay.
So administration, yeah, it could be handled separately. I will communicate.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Any other questions, guys, before we wind up the session? Okay, yeah. Any other questions, guys?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the regular sessions will be shared by tomorrow. Okay, so let's join there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Even
Thank you.